Hey, hey, warrior saints, Christ is risen. Happy, bright Tuesday. It always strikes me that the week following Pascha we refer to as Bright Week, especially in light of our topic for this week's episodes that we're talking about coming from the 21st chapter of the book of Revelation, where, behold, I make all things new. Yesterday, Father Chris gave us an intro into that, and I want to piggyback on what he was talking about and kind of pick up where he left off with how are we looking at the world. If we're talking about everything being new, then we have to decide and make a concerted effort that we are going to look at the world through this newness, that we are going to see the world in this new light, in this brightness. Because it's easy to see darkness. It's easy to be consumed by the darkness. It's easy to get stuck, as Yoda says, along the path to the dark side. Because we want to go down that rabbit hole that starts with fear, that goes to anger, that leads to hate, that leads to suffering. And then when we get to that suffering, we want to wallow in our suffering. But the reality is, Christ shows us a response to suffering. But we have to choose to do it. We have to choose to follow in that path. We have to follow one of two ways. And we're going to go back all the way to the book of Psalms, to the very, very first Psalm, because this idea, these two ways, are laid out very, very clearly for us. And I'm going to read the entirety of the Psalm. Father's going to pop a few verses up on the screen as we go. It starts with verse 1, where it says, "Blessed is the man who walks not in the counsel of the wicked, nor stands in the way of sinners, nor sits at the seat of the scoffers. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and on his law he meditates day and night." Following the law of the Lord, desiring to go and walk in the way of the righteous, not in the way of the wicked, not following the way of sinners, not following their counsel, but following the Lord's law. It says in verse 3, "He is like a tree planted by streams of water that yields its fruit in its season, and its leaf does not wither." And then it hammers you with why you want to follow this way that doesn't always seem attractive, this way that seems difficult, this way that the world and the chaos is trying to pull you off of. And it says, in all that he does, he prospers. When our counsel is not the counsel of the wicked, when our seat is not the seat of scoffers, and we are not standing in the way of sinners, not following that path, all will prosper. It means that we have to be able to discern a little bit. We have to adopt that new brightness. We have to follow that path of light. We have to look at the world through the lens of all things being made new. And the caution against this comes to us in the following verses. Starting with verse 4, we hear, "The wicked are not so, but are like chaff which the wind drives away." The wicked who do not follow the law of the Lord are like chaff, that light wheat that just blows off the top of the stalk with the wind, that goes wherever the wind takes them, that follows whatever seems new, whatever seems shiny, and they are not clear on what the path of the Lord is. They are not clear on what it means to follow the way that Christ has laid out for us. And it's interesting, the psalmist goes on, "Therefore the wicked will not stand in the judgment, nor sinners in the congregation of the righteous. For the Lord knows the way of the righteous, but the way of the wicked will perish." It doesn't just mean that the Lord knows the way. It means that the Lord shows us the way. It means that the Lord is the way. It means that the Lord guides us along this way because he knows it. It is his. It is his path that we are called to walk on. And when we're looking at all things and seeing them through newness, seeing them through new eyes, seeing them through a different filter than the filter that the wicked, the world, that just pulls us wherever the wind blows. And it changes daily. Every single day there's something new that is something that we're supposed to be fired up about. I'm still trying to figure out why I'm supposed to be fired up about whatever I was supposed to be fired up about last week, and there's something new to be fired up about this week. I mean, I can't keep track of it all. I can't keep track of it all because there are so many causes. And we all know those people who get behind every new cause. But what do they really stand for? What are they actually taking a stand for? You don't know because their cause changes as the wind blows, because they are simply like chaff. Don't be like chaff. You are called to be better than that. You, my brothers and sisters, are called to be a warrior saint. Men and women who are men and women of action, who are following the way that Christ has laid out for us, who are taking counsel in the way of the Lord, who are meditating on the Lord's counsel day and night. That's the path that I'm trying to follow. That's the path that Father Chris is trying to follow. And that's the path that we want to, in any way that we can, help you along. And that's why every day we're here teaching, giving you all that we've got. And that's why we're always encouraging you to visit us at warriorsaints.org. Because when you visit us at warriorsaints.org, you will find our exclusive content, our library that is filled with lessons that will help you become the root, not the chaff that blows away with the wind, but the stalk whose roots are firmly planted, whose stalk is able to be firmly grounded in the way of the Lord. We'll be with you again tomorrow, continuing along this path, continuing looking at how we can see the world with new eyes. Until we see you tomorrow at 11, keep walking on the way of the warrior saint.